Well, does it feel like a sunny day is a distant memory? Are the days of rain, drizzle, and fog starting to affect your mood? Well, on tonight's edition of Get Psyched with Dr. Janine Hubbard, we'll talk about the RDF blues and how to get through them. And she joins us live in our newsroom this evening. Hi, Dr. Hubbard.
Good evening.
First of all, let's just acknowledge the obvious here. You got the memo. We are pretty much wearing the same thing.
We clearly were ready to talk about the blues, you know? Again, have we mentioned that using humor is going to be one of the coping strategies we talk about for all this? I joked earlier this week, I felt like I was growing gills.
Oh, and I hear you. I mean, so, you know, on that topic, then, can weather like the extended periods of rain, drizzle, and fog that we've had really actually impact our mental health?
They actually can, and there's some neuroscience behind that, because we know that when we lack exposure to sunlight, it affects a couple things. It affects our serotonin, which impacts our mood. That's kind of like what makes us feel happy and good. And it affects our melatonin production, and that's what impacts our sleep. And that's why, I don't know about you, but I've spent the last 2 weeks wanting an afternoon nap every day.
Yep.
And that's actually a direct result of our lack of exposure to sunlight. And then the other thing that's happened is all of our normal routines go out of whack. We just don't feel like going out for that walk or, you know, enjoying the outdoors in the same way. So we're far more inclined to go, it's cold and yucky and miserable. I'm going to go home and sit on the couch and eat a bag of potato chips, which again is not great for our mood. So the combination of those two factors really does mean this is affecting people.
Yeah, and I get that too. I mean, I really suffered from a lack of motivation over the last couple of weeks. Yep. Certainly we know that this rain, drizzle, fog also played a really good role in keeping us all at home during COVID-19. But is there anything we can do about it? I mean, outside of the obvious?
Well, there's lots. And I think, as we've demonstrated, part of it is having a bit of a sense of humor, embracing it. This is Newfoundland. We know that this is part of our spring experience. One of the best sights I saw recently was I came out and there was a little toddler dressed head to toe, you know, in their rain gear, and they were jumping in a puddle like their life depended on it, and the joy and the glee. I even had to stop because that was contagious. It was so much fun to watch them. So we need to embrace it. Put on the weather gear, get out. Those 20 minutes of sunshine we had earlier this week, everybody, I think, in the province popped outside. Get that exposure. If you're someone who finds that you really do have difficulty with this, consider some light therapy. They've come down so that they're quite affordable, and this time of year, that's something that you really might want to embrace. And a lot of it is, like I say, having a bit of a sense of humor and forcing yourself to try and avoid the couch and the chips, and trying to you know, fight that mood as much as you possibly can.
It might be hard to get there, but you never regret it once you do it, right?
Right.
Now, what if you're really finding that it's impacting your mood on a more serious level?
Well, this year in particular, we know that people are more vulnerable just because their mental health resources have been stretched so thin over this last year, that I have heard from a number of people who are just feeling it more this year than they might other years. And remember to reach out for help. Talk to your family physician. Reach out for counseling support. Like I say, consider something like some phototherapy. With consultation with your pharmacist or your GP, consider something like vitamin D. So there are solutions, and keep in mind, the spring will come. We're going to get there. Start planning that garden. Start planning some of the fun things that you're going to enjoy when we finally do get to embrace the nice weather.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Literally.
Literally. Dr. Hubbard, always a pleasure to have you in our newsroom. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.